In your assignment on the Fortune 1000 tab, you're going to be working with a data set of 1,000 rows of data about Fortune 1000 companies. You're going to have specific criteria on your assignment. For our training purposes today, the data set that I'm using is a set of 500 from the Fortune 500 from the year 2019. I'm also going to be using some different criteria than what you have on your exercise, but we will all be using 4 specific formulas: count if, sum if, count ifs, and sum ifs. The difference is that those that end in S allow you to apply multiple criteria together to get your answer out of your data. So let's get started. For our first question that we're trying to get out of our data, we're going to take a look and try to calculate the total count or number of firms in a particular state, in this case California. So since we know our formula, we can go ahead and start typing it in, hitting the equal symbol, typing COUNT, IF, open paren, and you're going to see that I have below where I'm typing, I'm going to have some helpers. So it says the range. So the range that we're looking for here is the cells where we might find the state for the headquarters. So we're going to click on M2, which is the first row in which this might appear. I'm going to drag my cursor all the way down to the very end, getting down to the last row in which I have data. And that places me with row 501. Scrolling back up to the top, I'm going to see that my formula looks like I need to have, I've got my range defined where I might find my data, and now the criteria. And since we're matching a text string, I'm going to type the word California, CALIFORNIA, close my quotation, close my paren, and hit enter. I see that I get 11 is the count of firms that are in California. I could scroll through my data and spot check, but I'm going to go ahead and show what that formula looks like by using our show formula, our formula text feature. And I'm going to show the formula text for the formula that is in this cell, T4. And now my formula is displayed alongside the value. The next question that I'm looking to answer from my data is the number of firms that are profitable. So looking at my column headings, I see that column O represents whether the firm was profitable or not in that year. So I'm going to double click in my formula box, clicking equals, count, if, open parens, the range I'm interested in is going to be from O2 all the way down to, I know that all of my rows of data have, the last row with data is row 501, so from O2 to O501, and I'm going to look for the value of yes in quotations and close my paren, and I will see that I have 469 of the items that are in that year. Those companies were profitable, and I can copy my formula up top and Control C to Control V, and now I have pasted my formula. For our next answer we're looking to get from our data, we're interested to know about the number of firms that are in the energy sector. So if I look at the sector here, that looks like that's going to be in column D for us. So continue my pattern. If D2 colon D501, and that was my range. My criteria is the word energy. Close paren, and 85. And this is also my formula text. Text for this particular one. And there we go. Next, we're going to take a look at the number of firms that have job growth. Job growth appears to be in column Q, so we're going to continue the pattern. Equals if Q2 colon Q501, comma, looking for a value of yes in that particular field, hitting enter. Again, I can cut and paste because this said formula text, and when I copy it down, it will pick up for T7. The next formula that we're asked to use is the sum if. The sum if, it's a little more complicated. So first, we're going to start by typing the formula, sum if, open parens, and now we want to go and we want to sum the criteria. So we're going to be looking in column M for the state of the headquarters. So we're going to be looking in M from M2 down to M501. So if we find in that range, we're going to look for the value of Michigan. And if we find that value in Michigan, then we're going to add up the values that would be in the profit column, which is in column H. So H2 colon H501, close paren, and it adds up to 11,691. Our next formula also calls us to use the sum if formula. So we'll take a look at this one. Equals sum if. And I'm looking for the total of revenues. Revenues are over in column F. And we will be adding that up. But I'm going to examine those that are profitable by looking at the O column. So O2 colon O501, comma. If I find a yes in that, then I would like to add up the values that are found in the corresponding rows from F2 to F501, close paren, and copy my formula text, and there's our answer. The next formula that we are looking to use is our count ifs. And the difference between a count ifs and a count if is that we are allowed to use multiple criteria. In this case, we'll use 2 criteria. So my question that I'm answering is the count of financial firms that have greater than 65,000 in revenue. So equals count IFS, open paren, and you're going to see that I have criteria and range 1, and I will have others that are represented by the ... So I'm going to start with a count if. We know that column D is our sector, so that's where I'm going to find the financials. So D2 colon D501, comma, financials, close. Now you'll see that the helper bar shows me that I'm now on to criteria 2. So my second criteria is going to be to look into column F, which is revenues, so F2, F501, comma, and my criteria, I'm going to use a quotations, the greater than symbol. 65000, close paren, close quote, and then close paren. And I see that I have 31 firms that meet that criteria. Our next formula also asks us to use the count ifs. And our first criteria is going to be based off of technology firms. So I know that from above that my sectors are in the D column, and I'm going to put technology, close that. Now I'm going to look for assets, and assets are in column J. So we're going to look at J2 through J501, comma, open my quotations, and again I'm going to look for greater than 30,000, close my quotes, close my parens, and I should get 27. The final formula that we're going to learn to use today is our sum ifs with plural. So start by typing S equals SUMIFS and follow the prompts on the helper. So the sum, what we're trying to add up here is our revenues, which are over in column F. So this time we're going to start with the values that we're trying to add up, which are F2 through F501. But now we're going to go and work our criteria just like we did under the count if. So our criteria for range 1 is going to be M2, which is going to be the states through M501. And I'm looking for those firms that are in Texas. And now I'm on to criteria 2, and my second set of criteria is going to be assets. Assets are found in J2 through J501, and I'm going to look in that value for those things that are greater than 1, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, close quote, close paren, and I'm going to see that I get my number, and that is the formula that I use to get. The last question that I'm going to ask of my data is to find out the total profits for our energy firms where the CEO is a woman. So equals, I'm going to use sum ifs again. And this time I'm going to be adding up profits, which are over in column H, for those energy firms, and I know that my sector information is in D2, and I want that criteria to be matched to energy. And now I'm going to move on to criteria set number 2, and with that we want to take a look at column P. And if that has a value of yes, then our data set should return all of those profits for those energy firms where the CEO is a woman. And we will show our formula. We covered a lot with these 4 different formulas. If you need further details on any one of them, please take a look at the Instructions tab on your Excel Assignment 4 and see the linked videos for each of the different functions. As you complete this assignment, please make sure that you follow the steps around formatting for currency where you have profit and revenue numbers. Thank you.